She's a teaching assistant professor. I got it right. in health and exercise studies. Her next talk is sure to get you motivated, so give it up for Kari Lewis.
The button's on. Okay. All right. Okay, everybody's going to stand up again. And we're going to move a little bit, first of all, before I start talking. So we're going to do a modified hokey pokey. So wherever you are, just find some space and hokey as much as you can. Okay. You guys can come up and, come on up and, yeah. Yeah. Alrighty, here we go. That's what it's all about. Put your left hand there. Okay. Oh. All right. Okay, that got everybody up moving a little bit, got some blood flowing. So I'm really here today to do something other than lead you in the hokey pokey. So I'm here today to talk to you about two of my favorite things. The first one is my favorite movie, The Wizard of Oz. So how many of you remember this great line from the wizard as he was talking to the scarecrow about getting a brain? And the wizard said, well, anybody can have a brain. That's a very mediocre commodity. Every pusillanimous creature who crawls on the earth and walks through slimy seas has a brain. Back where I come from, we have universities, great seats of learning where men go to become great thinkers. So all of you out there, all of you pusillanimous creatures, have a brain. But how many of you are great thinkers? How many of you are great thinkers? So we know a lot about what goes on in the brain, how to learn and how to memorize things. And we've known for a lot of years that exercise can benefit the brain. I've been teaching physical education for 36 years, and we've known, again, for a long time that there are a number of benefits for physical education associated with our physical being. Muscle strength increases, muscle endurance, it can decrease your blood pressure, it can help decrease the risk of developing cardiovascular disease. And we've also known for quite a while that there are benefits associated with our emotional health, that exercise can help decrease depression, that it can decrease anxiety, and that it can also improve self-concept. But more recently, there's been research to suggest that exercise can actually improve our brains. So as far back as the 1960s, there was research being done on exercise in the brain and the changes that occurred in the brain as a result of exercise. So those first research studies were done on rats, And so rats were put into their little exercise wheels. And after exercising on those wheels, the researchers found that the cortex of the brain of those exercising rats actually got thicker. So go forward about 30 years. In 1990, there was a protein which is called brain-derived neurotrophic factor that was found to be present in the hippocampus of the brain. And the hippocampus of the brain is in the medial temporal part of your brain, and it's related to learning and memory. So the function of what's abbreviated as BDNF is that BDNF can increase neurotransmitters, and those are the chemicals in your brain that allow the messages to be passed quickly and efficiently from one neuron to the next. BDNF also helps to create connections and wiring between nerve cells, which is the basis of learning new information. And BDNF can also create nerve cells from stem cells in the hippocampus. So there's a lot of great benefits associated with BDNF. And John Rady, who's the author of a book called Spark, which is on exercise in the brain, talks about BDNF as being fertilizer for the brain. So it plays a really important part in the connection between the hippocampus and learning and memory. Some of the other research that's been done in a study of exercisers who participated in 150 minutes of exercise a week for 3 months. They did cardiovascular exercise, running. They're involved in a running program. And at the end of that 3 months, those exercisers performed better on tests of memory than did the control group. Other things that were noted in that study was that the blood volume increased in their brain, and the researchers inferred that that increase in blood volume was directly related to the number of nerve cells that increased, and so the blood was produced in order to feed or nourish those new blood cells. In another study, subjects again were involved in a running program, again for 3 months, and at the end of that 3 months, they performed better on tests where they had to memorize vocabulary words. In fact, they were able to learn those words 20% faster than the control group. And there was also found a direct connection between the hippocampus and the frontal lobe of the brain in that study. And in the frontal lobe of your brain is a function that occurs which is called the executive functioning of the brain. And executive functioning includes a lot of different things, but 3 that are really important. One is memory retrieval, one is working memory, and another one is self-assessment. So the self-assessment and memory retrieval are probably pretty much self-explanatory. But the working memory is an important skill to be able to have, an important ability to have, because it allows you to hold a vision or an image in your brain long enough so that you can use that information if you need it. So if you are presented with extraneous stimuli, you need to be able to avoid that and keep that vision in your head. So again, a really important skill to be able to have. In 2 of my classes last semester, in a run conditioning class here at State, which is about 60 students, I did an informal survey with them, and 70% of the students said that on the days that they exercised, that their processing speed was faster, and 89% of them said that on the days that they exercised, that they were able to avoid procrastination. So again, that was just an informal survey, but again, some support again for exercise in the brain. So knowing all of this, how do you take that information and use it in your daily life to make exercise a part of your life, to train your brain to become a better thinker? Well, a couple of ways I'm going to tell you about today. The first one is to be intent, or to set an intention to make exercise a part of your day to train your brain. The other one is that you can get essentially a twofer. So do exercise and study at the same time, or exercise and read, or exercise and check your email. There are a lot of companies now that are making treadmills that have desks on them. So people, show up for work, they've got their desk, start walking, get some work done, answer the emails, so forth. And there are bikes that are produced, like a seat with a bike, that fits right up against a desk, so you can sit on your bike and pedal and work at your desk all day. Or you can do a TUFF Talks presentation on a bike, like I'm doing, and get your workout in. You can also do what's called intermittent training during the day, so that you do short bouts of exercise, and you can do them in a very small space. So I'm going to show you an example of that right now, which is called a Tabata. So a Tabata is a 4-minute workout that really can be done any place, a very limited space. So you moms and dads, while you're waiting in the carpool line, could hop out of your car and do a Tabata really quickly while you're waiting for your kids to come out. So it requires little space. Again, it's a 4-minute workout, and you exercise for 20 seconds, and then you rest for 10 seconds, and you exercise for 20 seconds, and you rest for 10 seconds. So anybody that would like to participate in a Tabata right now is free to come on up, and we're going to just do it off here to the side. So come on up, anybody that would be willing to do that. And you can be dressed any way that you want to, and you guys can spread out over there.
Just be doing a run thing when they get home.
Yeah. Awesome. That'll be good. Okay. You got the phone? Yeah. So it'll just go on its own once you hit start. So what we're going to do, everybody, is we're going to alternate between running in place, and then you rest 10 seconds, and then jumping jacks, and rest and run and jumping jacks. Got it? Okay. All right. And he's got the timer. So we listen to the beep, beep, beep to know when to start and stop. Okay. It should start. Yeah. Okay. You might have to tell us when to stop because we can't hear the beep. Okay. Is the volume up on it? Okay. Okay. All right, now we're going to do jumping jacks, everybody. Is the music on? Music? Yeah. All right, so we're going to repeat that 3 more times, everybody. All right, running again. There you go. Yeah. All right, so now you know the benefits of exercise on your brain. So start training physically so that you too can become a great thinker. That is, to think and do. Thank you.